Hi, my name is Dan, and this video is one in a short series of videos that I'm doing on dealing with assets in Unreal. These first two, so this is the second one. The first one I did was a quick look at the Unreal Marketplace. And in this one, I'm going to show you how to get stuff that you've bought or acquired for free through the marketplace into your projects. And hopefully it won't take very long. So I have here my uh, Epic Games Launcher. I'm on the library tab. You get, first of all, the engine versions, then you got projects that you've created, and then your vaults, which is the things that you have bought through the marketplace. I have a very large list of these, and a lot of them have been free. So I want to just showcase two of uh, the things types of thing here that can happen. I'm not planning on doing the third, but I'll tell you about what the three are. So you can see here there's yellow buttons, um, and some of them say create project, some of them say add to project, and some of them say install to engine. So install to engine is the one that I'm not going to show you. I'm just going to click on this one. I won't actually do it because install to engine is basically this is a plugin. So if you want a project to use this plugin, you basically install this to your engine and then use this plugin when you create your project. Uh, that's the one of the three that I'm not going to do. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to add something to a project. Now, in the last video, I got hold of a what is this? KHS. It was this pack of stuff. Now I can just click this button here, or I can click on the picture to go to the store page. And now that I've acquired it, the big yellow buttons here I've got, I can write a review, or I can add it to a project. And I click on add it to a project. I'm just going to click on Don't Add, actually go back and show you something that is worth paying attention to, is the supported engine versions. Now, I've found that if you get stuff that supports is from an older engine version, depending on what it is, um, actually you're okay installing it to projects of a newer engine version. I don't think I've never tried going backwards, but going down in engine versions, certainly when you're transferring assets from one project to another, you can't do that from a 5.4 down to a 5.3 or anything like that. It just won't allow you that backward compatibility. Um, but you do seem to have very good upward compatibility. So I'm going to install this to a project, add it to a project. I've created a project especially for this video, which is video 8_2. And so I'm highlighting this. This is just a list of the projects that the Epic Games Launcher knows that I've got on this local computer, and add to project. It's going to queue it up. We'll see how long that's going to take. It's 1.9 gigabytes. So at this point, I'm going to edit. So we're back, and you'll see it's just finishing and it's added it to my project. So get the project up. So here we go. And this is the project that I've installed it to. It should have imported those assets automatically. For some reason, my mouse pointer's disappearing when I go over the viewport there. I'm not sure why. And when we go into the content pane here, we've got it, the pack. And inside here, they've got it nicely organized. There's maps. There's two maps in there. We'll have a look at those. There's materials, quite a few, as I expected. Meshes, these are the objects themselves. What else? We've got textures which feed into the materials. So let's have a quick look at the overview. So packs often have an overview level they provide. Once again, you're waiting for something to happen, but not too much there. Now, As often happens with Unreal, when you first load up a level, it all has this kind of grey look to it, and that's because it's still working on sorting out the materials and turning them into shaders. As you can see, the stuff at the top left here is describing those shaders. I mean, we've got a kind of layout of all the objects that are in the pack. Just fly around. There's another level in here, which is a demo, so I'm wondering what that's going to look like. Do you know what? The demo looked very similar. So when you get environment packs, you'll often find that you've got a demo environment. Often, particularly if they're a modular thing, they'll have an example as well as one of these overview levels as well. Okay, what we're going to do is we're going to quickly go back to the standard third-person map that we started with, and we're going to just bring one of those objects in, which is, of course, incredibly straightforward to do. So just go to the collection here, and this is a pack of props, so the focus here is on these things. An armrest cushion, that sounds very interesting. So I'm going to pull that in, and then can zoom in and have a look at that. That's in our demo world now. So I've managed to get hold of those. Right, so that was one way of doing things to add it to the project. Let's go back to the marketplace here, and in fact, not the marketplace, my library, and we're going to do build a detective office game. This is one that I just looked at or saw earlier, which is create projects. We're going to do it through this button this time. And we're going to see what happens. I haven't actually tried this particular one, so I'm going into into experimental areas here. So I've clicked on projects, and actually I'm going to go back first and go into the details here. Supported engine versions 4.24. So I'm going to see what happens because I'm going to look in my library. I do not have 4.24 in my library, so I am curious as to actually how it's going to deal with that. But let's do as I say, the create projects. Now, the first thing that's happened is interesting. I've got this red text. Project names may not contain the following characters, and it's got a quote. All I need to do is to edit this up here. It seems a bit odd to me that you do have these names for the projects, which are not valid names for projects. But it seems to be a thing. This happens. So I'm going to click create. Again, I have no idea how long or how big this is going to be. 1 GB. One thing that I'd like there to be, and I don't know if it is, and I'm just missing it, is some indication of the size of these packs, these things that you get before you click create project or add to project. So that's ticking away. It'll take a little while. Whilst it is doing that, I do want to mention something else, which is up here. We've got a little thing that says 6.4 gigabytes. This is the total size of all locally cached Vault content. And this is something to look out for because when you when you do something like create this project or add something to a project, downloads it, adds it to the project or creates the project, but it also stores it in a cache. So that means that if I deleted that project that I created and then asked for it again, it won't spend all this time downloading that it has done previously. However, I got caught out by this when I was doing a comprehensive look through all the stuff that was in my vault. And you've seen I've got a lot of stuff in my vault. And I found that I managed to fill my hard drive on my computer and had to go and find out how to empty this out. Now, I can't remember. Oh, so the thing that I should say here is that is beyond the scope of this video. What it means is I can't remember how to do it, so I can't show you how to do it. But it's worth being aware that this is going to start filling up your hard drive if you're doing more and more of these things. But it is possible just to empty it out and to there is somewhere in the Epic Games launcher in the settings, possibly. Do you know what? We're waiting. Let's have a quick look. Use proxy, desktop notifications, edit vault cache location, troubleshoot. Go into the location. Yeah, let's cancel that. That's changing the cache location. Does it actually empty it out? Which game stores parts? No. So it's not in that I can see. I'm looking very quickly. Right. That project should now have been created. So if we go through to, it's in my library, and build a detective, and it says it's 4.24, and I haven't got 4.24. So what's going to happen? It's going to ask me what version of the engine I'm going to want to try and open it with, and it will do a conversion as I do. I've got these, so the safest bet probably would be to go 4.27, but you know what? I'm feeling reckless. So let's try 5.4 and see what happens. And click on that. So that's doing a major update from 4.24 to 5.4. It doesn't seem to be very big. It seems to be loading up quite quickly. And this is an environment and some assets that are based around the idea of building your own little detective game. And it seems to have loaded up. We're preparing some shaders. We've got small environments. And there we are. I wonder what happens if we click play. Play. Joe, you want to play an editor? You've got unresolved compiler errors. First person character. So I'm not going to go into kind of dealing with this. Blueprint failed to compile. I said I wasn't going to go into this, but I'm just curious as to what's going on here. And it's probably something that's first touch branch. Touch one, something hasn't worked on names. Something's just not worked in the update. I'd need to work that out. And maybe I should have done it as 4.27. But regardless, this shows you I've got the project up. Now, one of the things that you might be wanting to do is actually use some of the assets that you've got in one particular pack that you've bought, and it says create project rather than add to project. In a later video in this series, I will be showing you how to migrate assets from one project to another. As far as this video is concerned, that's it from me for now.